Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1748A, and today's date is December 23rd, 2018, and the title of the episode is First Move for the Economic Structure Change Has Been Initiated. Now, before we get started, I just want to know if anyone remembers watching the old westerns when the cowboy or the gunslinger would swagger up to the bar, sling a coin across the counter, and ask for another. Chances are that coin would have been a silver dollar. They used real silver coins back then. Between 1878 and 1921, it would have been the Morgan silver dollar, but they went out of circulation when the price of silver went up. They're getting rarer by the day. The Morgan silver dollar is a great coin to start a collection of. So if you want something different and unusual to buy someone for a holiday gift, the Morgan silver dollar might be just the thing. Go to historicsilvercoins.com and for a limited time save $5 per coin with the offer code X22. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, over the many months, we've been watching Trump criticize the Fed. And of course, the mainstream media is out there and they're saying, oh my God, a president is criticizing the Fed. This shouldn't be allowed. And Trump continually came out and said, listen, the Fed's raising rates. This shouldn't be at this time. We have debt coming due soon. Raising the interest rates will not help the economy. I've made the economy great. Look at GDP numbers. Look at the unemployment. Look at the stock market. Everything is great. And every time the Fed comes in and raises rates, the stock market falls. And we see things happening in the economy. Housing starts to slow. And Trump is continually out there criticizing the Fed, and he's doing this on purpose. He's making everyone aware of what the Fed is. Remember, a lot of people that are out there, they have no clue what the Federal Reserve is. They believe that it's part of the government. They believe it's another branch. They have no idea that it is private, it's a corporation, and they're acting not in the best interest of the people, but they're acting in the best interest of themselves. And many people, I would say the majority of the country, I think it's a very small percentage, realizes that this is a Rothschild-run banking system. And they've been doing this for thousands of years. Trump, as we know, has Andrew Jackson hanging on his wall. We know that he's going to be pushing to get rid of the Fed one way or another. And how do you do this? How do you start pushing the idea that the Fed is responsible for everything? Well, he's already started that. That's number one. He's contradicted the Fed, and we really haven't seen presidents do this. We've seen Reagan, we've seen Kennedy, we've seen what happened to them. We know the Andrew Jackson campaign to get rid of the central bank, and there was an attempt on his life. But he will be making this push. It's almost the same approach that he's using, and I'm not just saying he, the Patriots are using to get rid of the deep state. Every day, they drop more breadcrumbs. They let information out, so people start to scratch their heads and they say, well, what's up with the Clinton Foundation? What's up with these people? Are they lying? And they're trying to make people in their subconscious continually hear this, that there are problems. This is what Trump is doing right now with the Fed. And now he's taking a step further. And we can see from the mainstream media how crazy they are getting from what has just happened. Trump, the Patriots, they just initiated the phase to restructure the Fed. Look at these headlines from the mainstream media. Trump asking advisors if he can legally fire Fed chief. Trump reportedly wants to fire the Fed chair, a move that could wreak havoc on the financial markets. Trump could face uphill battle in trying to fire Fed Powell. And these different mainstream organizations, and there's many, many more if you just go on to Yahoo, Google, Bing, any of the search engines, and you search for Trump firing the Fed, you'll find many, many articles. Now, the question is, why is the mainstream media so nervous now? Why are they putting out all of these articles? Well, they're worried about Trump coming in and changing what the Fed looks like. Remember, there was an article out there saying that central banks are very worried about their independence. The mainstream media, the deep state, the central banks, they're all one and the same. They work hand in hand. And if you attack the Fed, you're attacking their system. Right now, Mick Mulvaney, who's the acting chief of staff, he's out there saying that Trump realizes that he doesn't have the ability to fire Powell. And he's saying that, listen, I don't really think he's going to do it, and there's nothing to worry about. Now, of course, we know this not to be true. How do we know this? Well, if we look at the Federal Reserve Act, there's something in there, in Section 10, that will allow the president to remove the Fed chair. Now, once again, it doesn't mean he's going to or he's not going to. It really doesn't matter. The message has been put out there, and the mainstream media is trying to figure out a way to project into the future of why he can't do this. If you read the Federal Reserve Act, and this is in Section 10, number 2, members ineligible to serve member banks, term of office, chairman and vice chairman. There's a part in here which is very interesting. Let me read the part here so you can understand what I'm saying. So, the Federal Reserve Board in office on the date of enactment of the Banking Act of 1935, the President shall fix the term of the successor to such member at not to exceed 14 years, as designated by the President at the time of nomination, but in such manner as to provide for the expiration of the term of not more than one member in any 2-year period, and thereafter each member shall hold office for a term for 14 years from the expiration of the term of his predecessor, unless sooner removed for cause by the president. Trump knows he does have the ability to get rid of Powell. All he has to do is show cause. And he says, the Federal Reserve Act says, unless sooner removed for cause by the president. It doesn't say by Congress. It doesn't say by anyone else. It's by the president. Now, they're pushing this out there because they know eventually they're going to restructure the Federal Reserve. Now, remember, the act doesn't define the word cause. But Congress clearly thought the U.S. president should be able to remove board members before their term expire under certain conditions. This is a legislative time bomb and has been lurking in the Federal Reserve Act for a very long time. How do we know that Trump most likely is going to use this? Well, we know because of Post 1194 and all the previous posts. But let's look at Post 1194. This was April 19th, 2018. Anon put up, Federal Reserve ending. Q says, structure. And then we fast forward to Post 2619, which is December 12th, 2018, when Q had this question and answer period for Annons. And Annan said, do we have the gold? And Q said, yes, gold shall destroy Fed. Q. So we know there's a structure change coming. And we know that gold is going to destroy the Fed. We know that this cause section in the Federal Reserve Act has been there since it was created. And it was there for a purpose, to eventually end the Fed. Now remember, Trump just doesn't want to end the Fed. He wants to continually drop these breadcrumbs so the people start to learn about the Fed. What is the Fed? Why is the Fed not part of the government? Why is the Fed raising rates? Why is the Fed in existence? Who owns the Fed? Who do they report to? These are all the questions he wants everyone asking themselves. And this is why he's continually out there contradicting the Fed over and over and over again. And this is why we see the latest phase of the plan. Think about Clinton when Q continually says to us, okay, why is the Clinton Foundation in the news? Why are you hearing this now? It's the same thing. It's the same plan that's being used for the Fed, because he's trying to wake up as many people as he can, as the Patriots can, so they start learning about the Fed. A lot of people have no clue about the Fed. Now, if we go back in time to one of Trump's tweets, and this is July 30th, 2013, and this is very interesting. Trump tweeted out the following: "The golden rule of negotiating. He who has the gold makes the rules." Now think about that for a second. He who has the gold. Now Q has told us gold is going to bring down the Fed. Remember what Rothschild's famous quote is: "Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws." Now, Rothschild said money, their currency system, their paper dollars. Trump is saying whoever controls the gold. Why? Because gold is real money, checks and balances. And you can see the difference there. And you can see that Trump has said this many, many years ago. We're on a path where the Fed will be taken down. This is why, once again, Trump has Andrew Jackson hanging in his office. This is part of the ultimate plan. We're going to get there. As you can see, everything's starting to move forward with the Fed. Q is posting about the Fed. Trump is continually coming out against the Fed because the timing is right. That's why this is happening, because they have control in the White House. They have control in the Middle East. They have control in all these different areas. They have the indictments. They're getting ready to proceed forward. And once you have the control, it makes the plan a lot easier. So get prepared and ready for what is coming. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared.